Okay. Interview of Marquardt at Latham headquarters, January 4th, the year 2001. Interviewer is Lieutenant Colonel Robert von Hassel. Mark, tell me about where you were born and grew up.
I was born in Germany, in Klein-München, in 1920, January 3rd, 1921. And I don't remember anything because when I landed here, I was in New York City in 1928. I was only 7 years old. And from there, I remember a little bit, but not too much back there. I forgot all the German I ever knew also, but we moved in with my uncle, and he's the one that sponsored my mother and father and myself, and of course you had to have a job. My father had to have a job, the promise of a job before he could come into the country. I think things have changed since then, but I went to public school on 2nd Avenue, and of course I spoke strictly German, and I remember I was called up a few times to say the alphabet in German because I guess I was a novelty or something. But anyway, I graduated in high school in 1940, and I'm jumping the gun here. And I went to Hackett, School 24 first, and no, School 7, no, not 7, I don't know what it was, but I remember School 24 by Lincoln Park, and then Albany High, graduated in 40, and in 1939 there was John O'Brien, Dominic DeFlorio, and myself. We joined the 53rd Infantry Brigade headquarters and headquarters company, and we went in October 15th, 1940, Roosevelt federalized the National Guard, and we were shipped down to Fort McClellan, Alabama, for 1 year, supposedly. Well, the 1 year was up, and we were supposed to, then he extended it, and everybody started hollering, Ohio, Ohio, over the hill in October. But nothing happened, you know, it was just something to yell about, you know. But anyway, then when the war broke out, December 7th, in fact, I had my train tickets for my furlough from the 15th, I think it was the 15th December to January 15th, 30 days. Had my train tickets all bought, but the Japs did me in. They bombed Pearl Harbor, and so they shipped us to California, Fort Ord and Camp Hahn, where we got some few replacements, draftees, and we went after Hahn. Oh, they put us on the SS Lure Line, which was the flagship of the Matson Line, and we had staterooms, waiters, the whole 9 yards. You know, we were passengers, deluxe passengers with the state. No, they got a hold of them, made troop transport reports out of them. And anyway, we went to Kiska and Attu. We picked up some troops from the 7th Division. I don't know where they were. And then we were headed for the Philippines. And the Philippines fell, so they dumped us. We went to Hilo, Hawaii, the big island. And about a week after we got to Hawaii, everybody got sick, including me. We got a batch of bad Atibrine for malaria. It wasn't where they put the pill in your hand and you took it yourself. They actually threw it in your mouth, and you had, you know. Anyway, I don't know, about 15 or 30 of us wound up in the Mountain View Hospital in Hawaii, near Hilo, which is the capital of Hawaii. And I remember they were digging trenches. We could see them through the window, digging trenches, because they were expecting the Japanese to invade Hawaii, you know, the Hawaiian Islands. Well, anyway, after I got out of the hospital there, they moved us to the Hawaii Volcano House, and we had cabins there. Everything was, you know, no barracks or anything like that, and cabins, and then Mount Kilauea erupted, and it was like daylight almost, night and day, and we couldn't write home that it was because it was like a beacon for the Japanese, you know, volcano with the whole island lit up. Well, anyway, that died down, and then while we were in Hawaii, we got pith helmets, we got Garans, and the new helmets, and then they shipped us to Oahu. We went to Coconut Grove. We called it Coconut Grove, and we had barracks, wooden barracks, and that was good duty there. We had a movie screen built, and we had movies every night, and then let me see, we got, I'm trying to remember when we got the M8 armored cars and the motorcycles. Oh yeah, that we got them in Coconut Grove there. We got motorcycles, the 45 model Harleys, and I don't know, M8. I think we had 4 M8 armored cars, the Greyhounds, and the half tracks, and from there we went to. Oh, we got a duck too. One of these floating 2.5 ton trucks, and we took it into Pearl Harbor, and just because it was still devastated, you know, the ships are all laying on the side, and they were, you know, pumping out and doing what they could with them to revive them. But we brought the duck back, and the captain asked me what I thought of it. But what do we need ducks cleaned up. And then we had to take Garapan, that was the capital. And that was just house to house, what was left of the houses. There weren't too many, but cleaned that up. And I was there when they blew the bank apart. And the money was flying around and everything else. And everybody grabbed souvenirs, you know, money, you know, stacks like that. I should have brought it. I have some home.
Japanese currency?
Yeah, Japanese. Oh, in Hawaii, they issued us American money, had Hawaii stamped on it. I have some of that left too. So in case the islands fell, it could only be used in Hawaii itself. Some had just Hawaii stamped across the face. Did you ever see it?
Yep.
Oh, and some had Hawaii TH. Hawaii, territory of Hawaii. Yeah. And I have some of that. Well, anyway, getting back to Saipan, we took Garapan, and then we went on recon a couple of times, and we had, I think we had 2 or 3 pump shotguns. I think they were Winchesters with 00 buckshot, and that was my favorite. We didn't go out that much. I think 3 times, if I ever went out 3 times and all that, that was, you know, that was it. But we go out for ambush at night, and but you hit somebody with that buckshot, it's kind of gory. And we had very pistols too, the short brass, you know, and some of the guys, they took the little powder out in the shotgun shells, because the shotgun shells fit that very pistol, and put the shot back, and you know, because the very pistols were only made out of brass, solid brass. So if you put a full load in there, you blow the gun apart. So they took a little bit of powder out, about a quarter of it, and reloaded them, you know, and carried them. But I don't think anybody ever used them, you know. I think we had 3 of those. And let me see. Oh, we were supposed to make a recon landing on Magician Bay on Saipan. Now I'm going back again. I just came. That's what the training was for on Kauai or Lanai with the rubber boats. So it's a good thing we didn't do that, because it was heavily infested with the Japanese. You know, they were all up there. Well, anyway, after it quieted down, we lined up across the Marines and the 105th, the 106th, us, and, you know, man to man, right across the island. And we started, oh, I missed something. We had one of our platoons went out, and I can't remember the sergeant's name. He's squad leader. But he was a true squad leader. He didn't send a point man out. He went himself. And we went in this gully. There was all, like in here, you know, it was maybe 5 or 6, the gully itself, 5 or 6 feet high, and all filled with caves. And they shot him in the ankles. And we lost a lot of guys trying to. Now you talk about medics. When I hear medic, I hear hero. You know, you call a medic, he was right there, boy. And well, anyway, they called, and I think we lost 1 or 2 got killed, and quite a few wounded trying to get him out. But they did that on purpose, you know, trying to get him out. You know, we shot him. And we finally got him out, and Sergeant Murphy, he was, I don't know if he's a staff or a buck. He's a big guy, bigger than me. And we were shooting in these caves. You had to stand up to shoot in them, because they were a little higher, you know what I mean? Because if you sat down, well, you hit the top of the hole in the cave. Well, anyway, Murphy was bigger than me, and he got shot right through here. So he got the stretcher, and after that, you know, we all ducked down. We called for flamethrowers. And I don't know where they were from. I thought they were combat engineers, but I found out it was from our own division. and the flamethrowers came and they burned out all the caves, and some had bounced back, and I got burnt here on my arm, and it burnt my wristwatch. I mean, these only drops, you know what I mean? Just a few drops, not full blast. If it full blast or a little bit more, I'd have lost a lot more than my watch here. You can see it here. You know, it fused it right to my skin. I got a spot here and some spots near my arm. Well, anyway, so we're carrying him out, and there was Joe Pelucas. Here's a stretcher. Pelucas was here. I was here. And I don't remember who the other two guys were, but we're pushing this stretcher up to get top of the gully. Here's a Navy guy. He's taking my picture. You know, a photographer. This was on top of the caves, you know, where the ground was level, you know, and not in the gully. And I told him get that blankety blank thing out of my face. And well, we got him up. And Murphy was, I know he was dead, but we finally got him up. And then when we were walking, and the photographer was there again. And that's the part that printed me and Pelucas and the other guys carried Murphy. They leaped out the other one, you know, because I told them get it out of my face. But that's on the newsreel. It took me 4 years to find that thing. You know, every time they had the thing, I punched into VCR, and you know, I finally got it. Well, anyway, we got Murphy back up, and the Catholic chaplain was there, Father Yarwood, and I swear to God, Murphy came back to life when he gave him last rites. He moaned, you know. But I'll never forget that. Well, anyway, then we went back to Hawaii, and well, you saw the picture, me with the long underwear on. Everybody was sick. And the Japanese, they were a lot worse off than us. At least we had medical supplies, you know, they didn't have nothing there. And let's see.
After Saipan, you went back to Hawaii.
Yes. Yeah, we went back to Hawaii. And no, what am I saying? No, we went to Espiritu Santo. Oh, that's right, it blanked out, thank you. We got on the Kota Baru, and I was in, when you're sick and slightly wounded, there's no place to go on those islands. There's no hospital back there, you know. And so I was in my foxhole. Oh, one more thing on Saipan. After they had the bonsai charge, as we were getting near the end. When I'm forgetting a lot of this stuff. When we were all lined up, this was that's right. I went back to the valley there. But we're all advancing, and after that, one of our platoons, one of the Dowling brothers, they were platoon sergeants. They were twins. One had the second, one had the third platoon. And I don't know which one it was, but he reported back to G2, the division, that there's something going on, you know, up the, and that, I don't know, the north or south or whatever it was. And you see them all the Japs congregating there. Well, they all got liquored up. That's when they demolished the 1st Battalion, 105th Infantry. They wiped them out almost to the man. And you got Sergeant Baker and Colonel O'Brien. They got Congressional Medals of Honor during that engagement. But we were running a gauntlet there with our half-tracks, taking out their wounded, and bringing up water and ammunition. And let's see now, the water and ammunition. And like I say, it was always somebody there shooting at you, always, constant, you know. Well, anyway, from there, once, there was no consideration for the living or the dead. A couple of times we had to go down to the beach and get water because the Navy had, or the engineers or somebody had filtration plants to desalt the water or whatever they did. And we always took a half track and a trailer, you know, a tank, you know, 2.5 gallon, 250 gallon tank trailer. And this one time we went going. Well, the roads were so ground up. There was about 18 inches of just solid dust, you know, spewing. And we went towards the beach area. There's a dead Japanese laying there, you know, in the edge of the road. And we went down and got our water. Oh, on the way down, I heard the tat, 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 tat on the side of the half track. It was a machine gun. So I saw the flashes, and I got up and with the 50, we have 50s rings on the half tracks, and let go with a belt, and I didn't see no more flashes. But we got our water and went back, and we went back to the same spot, and where the Jap was, all he saw was a wet spot. You know, he just kept on running over him. And well, anyway, so I was in sick bay, or in my foxhole, and we boarded the Côte de Beru, USAT Côte de Beru, which is a Dutch registry ship. And I won up right in sick bay on the ship. And the Dutch captain, the CO gets all the guys out for exercise, you know. Need exercise. They're half dead anyway. So this captain goes up. This is what I heard. He went up to the CO. He says, "These men half dead." He says, "You give them exercise, I throw your ass in brig." That was the end of the exercise. And well, anyway, then we crossed the equator. They initiated the guys that were still half alive. Of course, I was in sick bay. All they did was cut my hair off. That's the first haircut well, you saw the picture. I still had a beard and no all rotten flows on all the guys. No, everybody was the same boat. Well, anyway, and so we're going to Espiritu Santo. It's supposed to be rest island, which it was. You know, no Japanese there. This is south of the equator, across the equator when we got initiated. And
What do you mean by initiated? You were initiated as?
A shellback. You get the shellback certificate. When you cross the equator, you become a shellback. I have my calendar with the date and everything. It's kind of ratty, but no, it's not there. I keep pictures of my presidents in that wallet. And well, anyway, the Navy used to throw the sailors overboard and make them swim for a while when they got initiated, because my son was in the Navy during the the Vietnamese War, and he says there was something else at initiation. There we go. I'm wasting your time here, huh?
No.
There it is. I have a big certificate home. Did it pick up?
No.
It's kind of beat up. What's the date on there?
September 44.
Yeah.
So after you crossed the equator and were initiated as a shellback.
Shellback. Yeah, that's when you cross the equator. You get a shellback certificate.
And it was on to Espiritu Santo.
Pardon me?
Next stop was Espiritu Santo.
No, yes, but first, the Côte de Beru broke down. It just stopped dead in the water. And of course, the rest of the convoy just left us. But they did leave us a destroyer which circled us till we got, I think it took a couple of days, but we were sitting ducks out there. while, you know, waiting to get that thing going. But we finally made a Espiritu Santo. And like I said, in Garapan, we got so many souvenirs. I had 2 pistols. I had, I think, 3 Japanese flags and a bayonet. And I had a samurai sword which stuck in my duffel bag, which, I don't know, magically it disappeared because it was sticking out of my duffel bag, which I was in sick bay. Well, anyway, so we get to, and I went right in the Navy hospital there because a lot of us were really sick, you know, we had the dengue fever. And in fact, that's in my magazine, my Army magazine now. Most of the guys had dengue fever and jungle rot. In fact, jungle rot too. I don't know if you know what that is. It opens sores all over your hands and your fingernails, and you know, and they ooze. And if there's any sickness, it's over in the islands, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, so after I got out of the hospital there, and went back to my unit, and like I say, we had tons of Japanese money, and there was a big Navy base there. You know, there was no training except from 6 o'clock we had our breakfast, and 10 o'clock you're done training or whatever, you know. And so we got beer off the Navy, we got ice off the Navy, and I got wood off I made myself a boat because we had outboard motors, right? And we had rubber boats. So I got a picture of the boat too. Took it out the bay. We were not near the water, and that was pretty good there. And there were Tonkinese there that worked for Colgate Palmolive Peat Company. They had a big copra plantation there, you know, for the copra, wherever, for the soap. And one of these guys, we were sitting in the tent, and they came around, you know, these Tonkinese, the women were topless, and but they chewed that beautiful betel nut, you know, when they gave you the big black smile. And anyway, this guy comes in the tent, and I hand him a beer out of the ice bucket, right? Well, he didn't know what to do with it. He dropped it and he ran like hell. He never felt anything cold in his life. This is right on the equator, this Espiritu Santo, you know. He dropped that bottle of beer and took off like a big bird, you know. Oh, God, he ran. Had to catch him, bring him back, and he couldn't, they didn't speak English and we didn't speak whatever they spoke, you know, but that was one of the funny things, you know, that happened. And well, from there, we went to Okinawa. And I don't know, we were there New Year's Eve. It had to be 1945. And we had, oh, that's right. On Saipan, we didn't take our M8s, we didn't take our motorcycles. All we took was our half-tracks. Now, on the Espiritu Santo, the rear, the guys that we left behind, they brought them to Espiritu Santo. We got our M8 armored cars back, and not our motorcycle. Our motorcycles were never used in combat, you know, for anything. We just had them in Hawaii. And but after we landed in Okinawa, I was in Naha. That was the capital there. We took that. Of course, like I say, most of this stuff was destroyed anyway before. There wasn't too much mopping up. And we had our M8s, you know, we're by our camp there naturally, but and John Nagy was on guard duty. He had a Thompson sub. We got Thompson subs on Hawaii too, when, you know, issued with the new helmets and the Durans and everything. He had and these Japs came. He got 9 of them. 9 of them. I don't know how many he killed, but the ones he didn't kill, they blew themselves up. That's another thing about the Japanese. Our hand grenades, when you pull the pin and nothing happens, you got that safety on there, you know. That grenade is not activated till you throw it and that pin flies off and the hammer strikes the primer, right? The Japanese, they pull a pin and there's nothing to hang on to. They either had to take their rifle and strike the thing or the helmet. Most of the time they use their helmet. You hear that clack. You could always tell a clack, you know, when a grenade was coming. Yeah, I told that to my group a while ago. Of course, all of them were in Europe, and except one, he was on in the Solomons, Marine. So, well, anyway, we took Naha, and there was an airstrip there. Actually, there wasn't too much combat, and you know, I think they're getting wise. They started surrendering. We always had the diehards. It wasn't like Saipan, where I saw thousands of them commit suicide. I mean, not thousands, but hundreds of them. Women and children and guys, they blow themselves up. I saw one man, one Japanese. It was all, you know, it's the propaganda that did a lot of damage to it. Like we were told, Japs were going to do us in and whatnot. And they were told that we killed our mothers and fathers, and you know, to get into service and all that. And I saw this guy. He was in his last throes. He committed harakiri with a file. With a file, he tore his guts out. You know, it's such waste of humanity, really. And like I say,
I think we're going to take a break now because we're just about. Continuation, tape 2 of interview of Marquardt on January 4th, 2001. Mark?
okay, I just had a backflash or whatever about Saipan. After the bonsai charge, there was at least, from what I heard from G2 of our division, at least 6,000 Japs that took part of this. Now, they didn't have too many guns left or anything like that, and most of it was whatever they could carry in their hands, which was sticks and sharpened sticks and rocks and whatever. And of course, they overran. They demolished the 2nd Battalion, or the 1st Battalion from Troy of 105th Infantry, and after every battle, you always clean up salvageable stuff that the enemy could use. And I remember picking up rifles quite a few times, the Japanese rifles, and that's how I got 2 pistols and whatnot. But the rifles, I never figured out till about a month ago why the bolts were different on the rifles. But I'll explain. But we used to take the bolts out that were laying in the field and either crack them on the rifle, you know, destroy them, or else if nothing would bend or, you know, get out of shape, would pocket them and throw them in the ocean or something. But some of the bolts had a cover on them. And I'm a history buff. I listen to the History Channel quite a bit. And about a month ago it says that the Japanese had a cover on their bolts, dirt cover. But every time they loaded, it made a noise. It gave their position away. And they used to throw them away because it was a hindrance to them. But getting back, we cleaned up once, and I saw this dead Jap. He didn't have a foxhole. He had a hole that he hunkered down in. But he was slumped over, and his rifle was sticking up beside him. And I was telling Wayne here that he almost shot me. If I'd have picked the rifle up this way, he had his finger on the trigger. But I picked it this way, and when I pulled it up, it went off. That's how close that guy, a dead Jap, getting me, you know. I pulled it up away from me. But like I say, we took all that stuff and just destroyed what, you know, as much of it as we could. And after one of our half tracks got stalled in that bonsai charge, and I went to retrieve it with a few of my guys, and I guess it just got flooded, but I started, but they never even touched it. They were dead all around. There was actually about 6,000 dead Japs in this bonsai charge, you know. And I got the half track back, but we went back down there, and they just got a bulldozer, dug a huge mass grave, and just shoved the bodies in there, you know, by the thousands, you know. I don't know where the Japanese got all these ashes from, these guys that they gave their, you know, their family. You see it where the Japanese government gave their ashes to the families. But, you know, it's one of these things that happen in wartime. Well, anyway, getting back to Okinawa now. Like I never went out on a recon mission with my old standby there, that buckshot, the Marlin, not what, I don't know what the pump shotgun was, but Nagy got to 9. And, there was myself, Lieutenant Britt, Calvin Prestwood. He was regular Army. I don't know where he came from. He joined our outfit from the regular Army on Saipan. We got him. And I don't know who else was there. But we had the M8 armored car. We got out of it. We're looking around with field glasses and what. And here comes a mortar shell. Okay, right down by us, you know. We're standing, we could hear it coming. You know, we didn't know where it was going to land. Calvin Prestwood, he dove under the M8. We're standing. He gets killed. A piece of shrapnel went through his back, right out of his chest. We didn't get a scratch, the rest of us. Now that's irony for you, you know. And later we were on a knoll, under a knoll for the night, and had all the vehicles lined up. And there were caves on here where the caves were burial caves. The Okinawans put their people in jars, the bones and whatnot. And so most of them were spread out in foxholes, which we dug. Lucky me, it seems to me every time I dug a foxhole, there'd be the Rock of Gibraltar in there. Honest to God, you know. It was irony with me and foxholes. But anyway, I was walking, made sure the vehicles were all right, but not all right, but you know, scattered enough. And here comes a whistle, and boom, a grenade, mortar comes, and it's a good thing I had my 45 on. I got a piece of shrapnel onto that gun. It bent the gun all to hell. I mean, it demolished it. I got a little dinky piece of shrapnel in my upper left leg here, and some stuff in my fingers, like probably dirt or metal. It just still shows, you know. Well, anyway, but this is irony now. That the pistol was destroyed. If I didn't have the pistol on, I would have been cut right in half. That's fate, I guess, you know. Got the guardian angel watching over me, I swear to God, you know. Well, anyway, but then the mortars were still being lobbed in, and what I did, it hit, the next one hit right in the middle of the half track. It blew the half track apart, and it started burning, and they had 50s in there, and the flames hit the 50, you know, and it kept on firing. So I jumped up. I got burned a little bit, you know. I twisted the shells till it stopped, and just, you know, so it couldn't feed it. It was feeding itself from the heat, and it was shooting all over where the guys were in the, you know, in the bottom, in the ground there, over there. And well, anyway, all I got recommended for a Silver Star there, which I never saw hide or hair of, but no Purple Heart neither, because you know, the guys were dead, you know what I mean, dying, and like Costa there, we finally, after everybody got out of the foxholes, and we went in those caves, and I think it was Joe Costa. He sat right in the cave opening and don't another shell come and whoop, get him. You know, instead of going into the cave, he sat right at the, you know, in the entrance of it. But we survived that, and, you know, we lost, like I say, Cal, and we lost quite a few guys there that night. And then all of a sudden, oh, we dropped the atom bomb. I mean, who the hell, everybody said, oh, bullshit, you know, who they kidding? What's an atom bomb? Didn't believe it, you know, war's over. And then they assured us that the war was over, and then General Reiner, he gets all the troops out in a big field. He says, I know you guys have been overseas almost 4 years, he says, but I want you to be patriotic and go to Japan for occupation duty. See? And all you hear is a big moan. I mean, you probably heard it in the States. And, but then the order came through from the War Department. These men are going with so many points, you know, the original guys. No ifs, ands, or buts. They're going home. So, the pistol, my pistol was replaced. And we got new draftees, you know, and we had to paint all the vehicles, make them all look like new. And then the ship came, the Buckner. I remember the Buckner. We got on the Buckner, SS Buckner. He got killed. He was a general. He got killed on Okinawa. And well, anyway, when he got us out there, he said, you guys aren't patriotic if you don't go to Japan, you know. You're re-up, you know. Don't go home. But we went home, and let's see, what am I... Oh, we had to wait for the typhoon to get over. There was a big typhoon right after the battle. And I gave you people the photograph of the peace plane that came over from Japan to set up the surrender. That's on one sheet of paper, you know. And then we knew the war was over. So on the way home, we got home and landed. I don't know where we landed, either Washington or where all the water is, that Japanese current that keeps it warm. Was it Oregon or Washington in the northwest there?
Washington.
Washington, yeah. And then we got new fatigues, brand new fatigues, you know, instead of wearing our rotten old uniforms. And they had German POWs there. Feeding, you know, in the mess hall, and Arnold was ahead of me, but they gave him one a bottle of milk, and no cartons yet, you know, and he grabbed another one, the POW took it away from him, the guy took him, you know, and well, anyway, so we came home and went to Fort Dix, and I got my discharge. And I had a tooth infection, and they had the old sewing machine pedal for the drill. They drilled out and gave me a pink filling, and went to Dick's with it. And so he says, "Oh, you got a tooth you want to fix?" I says, "How long is it going to take?" And I got my discharge, and it was all wrong, you know. So I says, where's my combat battle stars, you know? And he says, no, you only get the arrowhead. I said, what are you talking about, the arrowhead? He says, just for, when I had my stripes put on. Oh, we got uniforms then, too. You know, regular GI dress uniforms. And had 7 overseas stripes, 2 hash marks, the tech sergeant stripes, the division stripes, and that patch with the arrow and the stars. The Southern Cross, was it?
Mm-hmm. U.S. Forces Pacific.
Yeah, it's red, white, and blue. You guys want it? You can have it. Okay. That thing, you know what he says? It's going to cost you to sew that stuff on. I says, what? You know, yeah, they're shaking us down. Well, anyway, I came home. I went to New York for the train, and some lieutenant saw, you know, my stuff on my arm. He says, "Holy gee, you've been around, Sarge." I says, "Yeah." He says, "Come on, I'll buy you." I was drunk or skunked. I got drunker and skunked. I don't know how the hell I found the train, but I made it home. And that was it. Yeah. But then I started looking around for my papers and whatnot, you know, and try to get it straightened out. And this was after a while. "Oh no, your records got all burned up." And got that for years and years and years, and finally I told Wayne here, I don't think you were here, it took me 50 years to the month to get my Army records. 50 years to the month. I got out, discharged October 3rd, 1945. I got my records October 15th, 1995. Yep, 50 years to the month. And they're all screwed up. They got me down for a white American Mexican born in New York City. Honest to God. Yeah.
So what happened after the war, Mark? What did you do?
I went down to unemployment 2 weeks later. And no, I went down before that, about a week later. And I went down to the Department of Employment down on my state, or Beaver, no, not Beaver, what's that street in back of Pearl Street, the first block there. Well, anyway, it used to be the Department of Labor there, so I went down there and he asked me what my class was, so I went to automotive school, you know, and he says, "I can't get up. I don't know Morse code," you know. That was, like I say, I couldn't understand it. But I could understand it, but I couldn't, it wouldn't sink in. But he says, "Well, Autocar's looking for a mechanic." So I went to the Autocar company and rebuilt engines and bored out engines and crankshafts and all that. I worked there 6 years. That was a good job. 75 cents an hour. Yeah.
And then what?
Then I went in business for myself, and I bought out a delivery service. Oh, I had enough money to put down in the house when I got out of service because, you know, being in there's no place on earth in those islands to spend money. You know, everything went home, and the script that we got, I still got. You know, you couldn't get rid of it. You know, and my wife, I bought a house on Clinton Avenue. I got married in '48. Well, anyway, getting back to Autocar, I worked there to '51, and then I got married in '48. Married, going on 53 years married, my wife and I, and I bought the delivery service off the guy next door. I delivered typewriters and elevator weights and U.S. mail and IBM parts, tires, Firestone tires. I delivered those by the ton. And I got rid of that business in '77. I had a couple of guys working and they were robbing me blind, and the government wouldn't leave me alone, you know, with the forms and all. My wife was working on the books, you know, constantly, and so I just folded and retired and got a part-time job at Key Bank, noon to 5, and I retired in '77. Yeah, that's when I quit, and I got rammy after a year. I got a part-time job at Key Bank as part-time courier. That was a good job. I liked that job. Got a new car to drive, not home, but you know, and bring the mail to different branches. I had about 25 branches I serviced. You know, bring the mail to them and pick up their check deposits. And when that craze went on for gold, I don't know if you remember in the early '80s, they had the gold Krugerrands from South Africa. Well, I delivered those by the truckload full, you know. People were buying them. They lost their shirts, I think, after they bought them. But then I worked there 6 years, and part-time wasn't supposed to get any benefits, but I got a pension. It's not much, it's $100 a month, but it's, you know, it all adds up. Yeah, and I was in profit sharing. Maybe I shouldn't tell this if this is going to be broadcast, but in profit sharing, I contributed $600 in the time I worked there. I got $8 grand when I left. I got an IRA from them. You know, like I say, but the banks aren't like that today. You can't even get a calendar out of them, or a pencil. Even a pocket calendar you can't get. You know, in the little plastic cards, they don't even have them anymore.
Have you kept up with your fellow soldiers from the 27th?
Oh yes, we those pictures I brought in, the paintings. We've had a reunion since '45. First one was '46 here in Albany, and the first sergeant ran it. He went home from Hawaii on the cadre. He started in Europe. They started another. A lot of guys left. We got a lot of replacements. But we've always had a reunion until about 3 years ago. Every single year. Most of them were here in Albany. I had it for about 25 years, the reunions. I don't know if you went through my letters there, but it's about reunions and whatnot. And those plaques, those paintings always hang up on my wall. And I finally boxed them up and put it in the cellar. That's why I brought them to you, because they're all going to get dumped, you know. Nobody's going to know what they are even.
We'll take care of them.
Yeah, I know you will. That's why I brought it in. Yeah.
Did you have any children after you married?
Yeah, 3. 2 boys and a girl. And my son, the youngest one, he got smart. He moved down to Florida about 23 years ago. And my daughter moved down to 2 years ago. My oldest son, he's still working up here in Sterling Research, or Winthrop there. I don't know what the name is now. It changes every year. He's going to retire in a year or 2. He's going to take it early. Yeah.
When you look back now, what's the thing that stands out most in your mind about the time you served?
Well, I'm not sorry I joined. I'm not sorry. I mean, I did what I had to do. I did what I think everybody feels the same way. It was, you know, it's something that had to be done, or else we wouldn't be here today under these circumstances, if everybody didn't feel that way.
So you're proud of what you did?
Oh, absolutely. I have no qualms, but I did what I had to do.
How do you think your service changed your life?
I don't know.
Do you feel like there are any particular things you learned, lessons of life, or
Well,
attitudes?
yeah, well, see, in the Pacific there was no respect for life whatsoever. And that made me feel bad. It was, you know, it was just a waste, you know what I mean? And like I say, these islands too, I couldn't see why they had to take these little dinky-rinky-dink islands which meant nothing, which you couldn't use for anything, unless it was for somebody else's glory.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me, what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, I feel like, I don't remember making too much, but there was nothing there. There was nothing on Iwo Jima that I could figure out except Mount Suribachi with the flag on top. What was, I don't know. Better shut up.
Let's go back to 1939.
Okay.
When you joined the National Guard, why did you join?
Because the 3 of us, we were real buddies. DeFlorio, O'Brien, and myself. We were in the same grade in high school, you know, in high school. We graduated in '40. And we knew what was going on. There's going to be a war, you know, because of all the saber rattling, and Mussolini went nuts first with Ethiopia there, and then Hitler, you know, invading. And why don't we join the Guard here? At least we'd be together and we know where we're going to be, you know. So that's why we joined. You know. Yeah, go ahead.
What was it like when you joined? You joined in 1939. That was a year before the call-up.
Yeah, right.
So what was it What was it like to be in the Guard in those days?
Well, in '39, all right, there wasn't much training, I'll tell you.
What did you do?
We got close order drill, that's about it.
Mhm.
And we went to, I don't know where the Guard went, I don't remember whether it was Drum or, I know it wasn't Camp Smith.
Plattsburgh? 1939?
Well, speaking of Plattsburgh, when I went to, let's see, it had to be when I was still in Albany High. I went to CMTC camps for 2 summers up in Plattsburgh. Yeah.
Well, what were those like?
That was, we got a lot of training there, more than I did in the Guard when I joined the Guard in Albany here. And like I say, the only thing I ever learned there was, in the Guard here, was a close order drill and how to do left face and right face and about face, you know, and salute officers. But it was good. I mean, there was a lot of camaraderie there in that unit.
So you drill on Tuesday nights?
Yes. It was upstairs. It was book learning.
Mm-hmm.
But once we got down to McClellan, they gave me a motorcycle, an old motorcycle, an old Harley, I think it was '74, not the year, the model, with a sidecar. And well, we learned how to work the switchboard. We learned how to run a wire and urinate on the ground wire, you know. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Get the, yeah. Once you drove that stake down, you wet it, and that was the nearest thing. And like I say, I didn't, but it was a lot of telephone stuff, you know. And I remember if you ran a wire across the road, you took the negative and you split them, and you put about 8 same wires on this side of the road, you know, on this one coming off and one down here, so there wouldn't be only the 2 where a car would run over it and cut it right away. They had to cut the whole, you understand what I'm saying there? The whole, you know, I learned that. That came in handy.
So you were drilling with the Guard on Tuesday nights. Did you go away to a summer camp with them?
Yes.
Well, that was an extra long summer camp, wasn't it? Instead of 2 weeks, it was 3 weeks?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Well, what was summer camp like? Were you out in the woods? What did you do?
Well, we went on maneuvers a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Louisiana. Oh, I was a prisoner of war down to Lake Charles. I don't know who caught me, the Blue Army or the Red Army.
During the Louisiana maneuver?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was a mess there. In fact, I woke up one there, it was a little cool there at night, you know. And I woke up and threw, here's a rattlesnake keeping itself warm on my body. He wasn't big, but it was a rattler. I think he had 1 or 2 little rattles on his tail.
What did you do?
I ran like hell, I'll tell you. And the ticks were awful down there. Oh, we had ticks. You had to burn them out, you know, with a cigarette. Not burn them, just put the cigarette near them, they back out. Because they told you don't tear the heads off because you get infected. Make them come out yourself.
So you didn't expect to be called up in 1940. October of 1940, you got the word that the Guard was going to be called up for a year. What was that like? I mean, how did that affect you? And
Well, I think we respected it. I really do.
Mhm.
That's why we joined, so at least we knew where we were and where, you know, we'd be together.
Did it seem to cause any problems for any other members of the unit?
Not that I know of, no, because I think we were the only 3 guys at that time that did join. The rest were all regulars, you know, old Guard, regular, you know, because you had General Ross was there, Colonel Van Antwerp, Colonel Toole. These are all like you, light colonels. They call you light colonel?
Hmm.
Yeah. And then we had Captain Jones, Harry P. Jones, and Paul Smith. He was a sergeant major. And he's the guy that gave me that, his wife gave me that picture, that's framed. Mine was rolled up and ruined. But that's why I gave it to you guys, you know. And, but the rest, you know, you had, Marquardt was, Drake was first sergeant. I remember these guys. Now, why do I remember that? That's older, and I forget some of the other stuff, you know. But Drake was first sergeant. Marquardt was clerk. Farley was tech sergeant. I took his place. Because most of these guys left when we were federalized. If you were 28 or over, but they grabbed them again later, I guess, in different units.
So when you were federalized in October of 1940,
15.
yeah, should have been a lot of activity at the armory, busy packing to get. What was it like?
After I graduated from school, I was the guard on the armory. They gave me a job, you know. All I had to do was answer the doorbell, you know, the big clang that they had there, and it was just the non-coms coming in, you know, and there was nothing really going on until the war happened. Then we went, I don't know who took them, the officers where, but then we start packing up and shipped this.
And you went by train to McClellan?
Trained in McClellan, in the mud hole. It was, and we got, you know, it was virgin ground there where they put the tents up, and there's all the red clay. And we got wonderful IC equipment, inspection condemned by the Army tents. All had ICs on them.
Well, the tents weren't in the best of shape.
No, they were inspection condemned, you know, by the regular Army. And we got the pot-belly stoves. We used to have a fire watch where the guy go in these tents with the little pot belly and feed them, you know. And of course, we had that soft coal down there, and every once in a while you get the sparks flying through the spark arresters anyway, and burn little holes in the tents which were dried out.
Cold?
It was cold, yeah, coke, yeah. Is that what you said, coke?
No, was it cold?
Oh yeah, it was cold. Oh yes, yes, it was very cold, yeah.
What was a typical day like for you at McClellan?
Well, a lot of training and drilling. They had the pole climbing and, you know, for wire. It was mostly the old World War I stuff, but that's all we had then, you know. And there was we went the rifle range a little bit.
Were you short any particular equipment, or did you have pretty much all the equipment you needed to operate?
We didn't know what we were supposed to have, so you were satisfied with what you had. We didn't know what was to be had. Do you understand? Yeah, yeah.
Did you get any time off? Get a chance to go into the local town?
Oh yeah, we went to Anniston, but Anniston was dry county. Oh, there was a bootlegger there, and for $50 you get a pint of, we called it stump juice in Anniston. Well, I fell for this once, you know, so he wasn't there, you know. You gave him the $50 and he'd tell you where to go and look in this stump in the vacant lot. Well, I drank that stuff. Well, oh my God, it burned your insides out. Yeah, and well, we went to the movies in Anniston. And when we first went down there, we drove down and we had what did we have? We didn't have the Jeeps yet. We had the command cars. This little old black woman, she must have been a former slave. She must have been 150 years old. She came out there. He had a cane. Goddamn Yankees, goddamn Yankees! You know, beating on the truck, you know, and the command. Goddamn, I can see her yet, you know. Yeah. And we used to go to Gadsden. I hadn't drank. Nobody actually drank them though, that I can remember. Nobody, you know, it wasn't that you had to have it or anything like that.
So your days were busy with training?
Yeah, it wasn't severe that I could see.
And then came the maneuvers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What were they like?
They were, well, I don't know which army you were, either the red or the blue, but like I say, I got captured with one of the officers in the command car. Oh, I had the first. I used to be a messenger. They had the motor pool, message wire section, and the messenger section. This is all World War I training. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I say, this is all we had. And we didn't know what else was available. But I was on this old motorcycle, and of course I remember the guys with the trucks that said tank on it, and the stovepipe. Well, I didn't see that, but I see it on TV. You know, machine gun. You know, stovepipe. Especially the guys laying in the gutter there, right along the road.
Mm-hmm.
That's asinine, you know, to show that, because who's going to be laying there in the road shooting at a truck when it's going by and the truck don't see them? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I was going somewhere on that motorcycle, and I heard they were shooting blanks. They had a machine gun, water cooled. So I got killed there. I got wounded. Wound up in Lake Charles, Louisiana, as a POW.
So at the time, did you think it was realistic training, or did you?
Oh, yeah, we didn't know any difference, you know.
Looking back now, do you think you
Pardon
all,
me?
looking back now, do you think you all were sort of naive a bit about what you were going to be facing?
No, I didn't think about it, no.
All right, so you were at McClellan when Pearl Harbor was bombed.
No, after, we got there in March. No, not where Pearl Harbor was.
Right, no, you were still at...
Oh, yeah, right. That's when I say I had my tickets bought to come home for the furlough. October.
You remember that Sunday? What was it like?
Yes, I had bunk fatigue. You know what bunk fatigue is?
No.
Well, you crapped out, and it was a Sunday. You crapped out, you got no duty, so you lay in your bunk and you rest. Yeah, that was an old expression, bunk fatigue, where you know, just crapped out in your bunk and had nothing. Somebody had the radio on, and Pearl Harbor was bombed. No even thought, well, what's Pearl Harbor? You know, thought, because you heard about all the other Japanese, where they were going. When they said Pearl Harbor, what and where's Pearl Harbor? And then we found out it was ours, you know, and then we said, uh-oh, you know. So it didn't take long to, I had to take Colonel Toole, I think, to Georgia or someplace. And it was Toole. Oh, Herzog, I took him on my motorcycle, because it had a sidecar, and Herzog was in it, and it wasn't Colonel Toole, it was Herzog, and I had to meet him at a certain spot on the border between, I think it was Alabama and Georgia, and the MPs picked him up because they knew where he had to go. So I dropped Herzog off, and he went on that other motor. He crashed and broke his neck. Jake did. He broke his neck, but he pulled out of it all right. And he was our CO, you know. And he rejoined us after a while. This had to be before the war. Yeah.
Good officer, you said?
Oh, he was he did what he expected us to do. He was right there all the, you know, his favorite expression was, run if you can't run, no, walk. No, wait a minute. If you can't walk, run a while, you know. But he was always like the point man. If we had to run, he was running in front with us, you know, always. The best officer I ever knew. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're going to stop now, take a break. Tape 3, interview of Mr. Marquardt on January 4th, 2001. Mark, let's go back to McClellan again for a moment.
Okay.
You all expected you were only going to be called up for a year. That's what you were told.
Right.
And then about a month before you were going to go home, Congress extended you for another year.
Yeah, in October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
And how did everyone feel about that?
Oh, it was, I didn't feel anything about it because maybe I expected it.
What about some of the other guys? Did they?
Well, like I say, Ohio came out, Over the Hill in October, everybody's yelling, but it was just an expression, you know, so it didn't mean, nobody went over the hill that I know of, not in my outfit anyway.
All right, so Pearl Harbor's attacked, and you're in McClellan.
Right.
And in a matter of days, you guys start shipping out for California.
I don't know if it was days or not. I know the officers went hither and yon. I don't know what, you know, where they went, or that they were being briefed, I imagine, so. But then we started shipping out, yeah.
What was that like getting ready? Did they tell you were going to California? Did you know where you were going?
No.
Just packing up the equipment?
Yeah, right, yeah.
What were there rumors as to where you were going, or?
No.
And when you got to California, your first stop was?
We were in my outfit, the the 53rd Infantry Brigade Company.
Mm-hmm.
We were stationed in a American Legion hall, and I don't know where it was. It wasn't in San Francisco.
Is it Norco or?
I don't know. I don't know where it was. It was only for a little while. We had the wool uniforms there because it was cold in Alabama. I rode motorcycle and I had to buy gloves. You know, riding those handlebars. You know, they weren't an issue. But we were in this American Legion hall where we stayed for I don't know how long, and then they shipped us to Fort Ord, and then Camp Hahn in California, and I think we got I think we got some more men there, I think, and then they put us on the SS Lurline. Like I said, you know, it was a flagship. It was a beautiful ocean liner.
When you were in California, why did you think you were there? Was there? This was early in 1942, very early in 1942.
Yeah, it was after war was declared, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you feel that you might be there to protect the West Coast against the Japanese attack?
No. We had an inkling that we're going to go overseas, and well, we did get passes, and I remember going to Carmel by the Sea, and what was the other one? North of that, or either south of it. That's where I had my first borscht, Russian soup. There was a big Russian population there. Carmel and, oh my God, what was the other one? Beautiful. It was beautiful there. They were welcoming us with open arms there too, you know. But that was the only places where I went to on pass in Frisco.
What was life like at Camp Hahn? Was it an established camp? Or?
Oh yeah, it was. They had gas heaters there. Ord had the old potbelly stoves and whatnot. And I remember going through San Francisco. That's where I saw my first palm trees, right in the islands and the road. You know what I mean? Beautiful. Yeah, and it snowed. I remember it snowed there when we went through there in 41. Yeah.
And what were you doing basically while you were at Ord and Hahn?
Just waiting, I guess.
Training?
I don't remember too much training. I think there was too many guys there that I probably close order. Yeah, we did close order drill. Yeah, I remember doing that because somebody really goofed up. He's trying to make an impression in front of some nurses, and he says squad's right, and instead of left, and everybody ran up a wall, you know, into a wall.
So you basically thought you were getting ready to ship?
Oh yeah.
Do you have any idea on where you were going to be going?
No, had no idea. No. Who heard of? I didn't know where Pearl. Well, they told us after, but Pearl Harbor was strange to us. Who heard of Saipan or Okinawa or any of those islands? You know what I mean? That was all Greek to me anyway.
But you knew you were going overseas.
Yeah, right.
Did you personally or any of your friends do anything especially to prepare for going overseas? Any kind of special arrangements you made, letters home, things that you might have done?
No, we just said we're on the West Coast, and I think it was all censored anyway. Because I still have a V-mail letter, which I think must have been sent from Hawaii, and a lot of the stuff is blacked out. I didn't, you wouldn't want it anyway.
As a young man, though, you're thinking, I may be going into combat sometime soon.
I expected it, yeah.
Did you do anything to prepare for the eventuality of going into combat? Did you fill out your will, or?
No.
You really weren't thinking about those
I guess everybody thought they were invincible, is that the right word? Nothing's gonna happen to you, you know.
While you were in California, did you see any of the relocation of the Japanese Americans?
No.
And what seemed to be the general sort of attitude towards the Japanese at the time?
Well, I didn't, we didn't, well, everybody hated them, actually, you know, and, but every time you turn on the radio, it was anti-Japanese, you know, propaganda, or, you know, spewing it out. How dastardly they were and everything, which they were.
Feelings were somewhat higher against the Japanese than they were towards the Germans?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Did you run into any problems having been born in Germany?
No, not a one, nope, not a one. No.
Tell me about the Lure Line. You went down to San Francisco and...
Yeah. Well, the Lure Line was the flagship of the Matson Line, which went from Hawaii to Frisco all the time. Did you ever hear the Cockeyed Mare of Kealakekau? It's a song.
No.
Well, remember who played Dr. Mudd in the Civil War? Warner Baxter?
Yep.
Warner Baxter. He was the Cockeyed Mayor of Kealakekau. He used to go to Hawaii whenever he wasn't making a movie, and go to that village of Kealakekau and raise holy hell. That was a ritual. He was the Cockeyed Mayor of Kealakekau. So, Hawaiian song.
Yeah, what made you think of that?
I don't know.
Something about the Lure Line, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it might have been brought up there that they said that, of course, that was the only way to travel there, by water then. You didn't have airplanes going to Hawaii and all those exotic places.
So you all got on the Lure Line and it was like first-class passage?
It was, yeah. We had cabins, we had waiters, and everything was top rate. They didn't get a chance to gut it and, you know, put hammocks in there. Not hammocks, the cots, not the cots. What am I trying to say, with the pipes and the canvas bags, you know,
bunks.
yeah.
When you got to, you didn't know where you were going at that point, did you?
No.
When you got to Hawaii, what happened? I mean, they offload you, where did you go? What were you told?
What were you told?
Yeah, when you got to Hawaii.
I don't remember anything, being told anything.
When you arrived at Hawaii,
Yeah.
and then they sent you out to where?
We went to Kiska and Attu first,
Okay.
and we picked up some guys from the 7th Division, and we were headed for the Philippines. And the Philippines fell, and they dumped us on Hawaii, and on the Big Island. And we went to Ula. That's where I got the Atarin, where everybody, acute hepatitis we had. And when I went up to the hospital, I remember them digging the trenches around the hospital, because they were waiting for the Japanese to invade us, invade the Hawaiian Islands.
Your basic duties then on Hawaii initially were to provide for the defense of the island?
Right. After I got out of the hospital, we got the new Jeeps then with the square backs. I gave you a picture of that. And we used to patrol, go around, and they put 30s mounts on them, and some had 50s, a post with the machine gun. And every time we went through the pineapple fields, you'd have to make room. They were so glad to see us. They loaded the Jeeps up completely with pineapples to go back to the unit, you know. And we made sure we went by there every once in a while. And about the sugar cane, I don't know, but before we got there, I guess the sugar cane cutters, they wanted more money or something. And whoever owned the sugar cane fields said no. So the workers, oh, we'll fix them, we'll set them afire. So they set the sugar cane fields afire. They thought they're gonna, oh, we'll fix these guys, you know. Well, the fire was beneficial. You didn't have to chop all the leaves off, and it did something to the sugar that was in the cane and made it so much simpler, you know. In fact, some of them lost their lives because they didn't need so many cutters, you know what I mean? And when we went to Ula, which I never got to because I wound up in the hospital, but Ula, that was where they had a sugar crusher there, you know, a little choo-choo train. I got a picture of that. I didn't think I'd brought it then. It was a little train that used to bring the cane up there and they crush it, you know, squeeze the juice out of it. Yeah. Then we went to, after I got out of the hospital, we wound up in the Volcano House. But this was a resort, you know, fancy. Had horses there and cottages. And good duty.
By this time, you were no longer so concerned about the possibility of the Japanese invading the island?
No, it was always in our minds that they would, you know, but like I say, when the Kilauea erupted there, we couldn't write about it. Well, if we did, they blocked it up. They told us not to write about it. You know. Of course, there was no TV then, you know, but I brought you that picture in. And but it was bright, you know, right at night. It was good. Between the there was two mountains on Hawaii. Now I'm going back to the Big Island. Two mountains, Kilauea and Mauna Loa. No, Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. And there's a saddle in between, what they call a saddle. And any animal that was ever brought to Hawaii is in there that got away from whoever owned them is wild. There's wild horses there, wild pigs, wild goats, wild turkeys, wild horses, everything. If there's an animal around that was imported to Hawaii, it's there in the wild. Yeah. We went hunting there a couple of times. This guy brought one of the guys shot a goat and he brought it and buried it. It stuck so.
Now at this time you were still 53rd Brigade, right?
Not on Hawaii, yes, on Hawaii.
And do you recall, like, what kind of defensive positions were set up by the brigade? Were they down by the shore?
No, we were right in the mountain by the Volcano House. That's where we were stationed. Yeah, when we first, Ula came first, but that's when I was in the hospital. When I joined my unit, they had moved to the Volcano House.
And then basically trench lines and...
No, nothing. No. This was right up in the mountains there. You know, like in the middle of the island. No, we didn't make any preparation whatsoever there.
Okay.
No, none.
And then came the move to Oahu?
Yes. Yep.
What were you doing on Oahu? I mean, what was the mission?
I guess it was a stepping stone, because see, on Hawaii, I don't know if I told you this, when they triangularized the division, and they made us the 27th Recon Troop, Cavalry. Some general in, did I go through this before?
Go ahead.
Some general in Schofield Barracks, I assume it was, he sent a letter to our CO, or our general or something. He says, oh, I see the cavalry's on Hawaii. He says, send a squad of your men help to the Parker Ranch and help them round up the cows. And Parker Ranch is the third largest cattle ranch in the world. Did you know that? Yeah. And all we took was our jeeps, and all we did is get in the way, you know. But the duty was easy. Well, we had to have interpreters. The cowboys were either Hawaiian or Portuguese. They didn't speak any English at all, you know.
So were you lassoing cows from your jeep?
We didn't do nothing except getting away. No, we didn't have no ropes, we didn't have no horses. You know, we rode around the jeeps, goofed off.
And then you ended up going over. That was on Hawaii?
That was on Hawaii, yeah.
Okay.
From there, we went to Oahu. That Hawaii was where we got the Thompsons, the Garands, and new helmets, and pith helmets. Why we got pith helmets? This is not the equator, you know. Hawaii is 88 degrees year-round, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not humid or anything, but we got you got the pictures there. Logged even, Ross, with his Thompson. The Thompsons we got were drums first, 50 kilo, and you wind them like a clock after you load them.
Did you get a chance to train on the weapons?
Oh yeah, we took them out, yeah. Oh yeah.
How'd you find it?
You know, it's ironic now, this, my motor officer, I was a pretty good shot. I'm not bragging, but I was. And we were training with the gas mask too, you know. He says, okay, Mark, he says, get your Garand there. And, they put some kind of a target, maybe 200 yards away. He says, now fire, you know, shoot at that. And I hit pretty good. And he says, now, troops, he says, now Mark's going to put on a gas mask and you'll see the difference. I did better with the gas mask because I took longer.
How did you feel about the Garand versus the Springfield and the new helmet versus the old helmet?
No comparison. No comparison. Wonderful. I was issued a carbine. I didn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the Garand or the Wallop. Yeah.
Now, on Oahu, or on Hawaii also, did you get a chance to mix it up with the Hawaiians, get to meet them? What was that like?
Yeah, I kind of got tangled up with a girl there on the Hawaiian house, or the Volcano House. She worked there. I mean, nothing serious, you know. But, he took her down to Hilo, took her to the movies. Nothing else, you know. Kimio Endo, her name was. Remember her? I wonder what she's doing now. Probably owns half of Hawaii.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to go into Honolulu?
Oh yeah, every weekend. Yeah.
What was that like? What would you do?
This is wild. Yeah.
How so? I mean, wild in what way?
Oh well, you go in and they limited your drinking. I went in this place once and I got nobody was a alcoholic then. We had one in the outfit, but you know, I ordered a drink, and it was all watered down stuff anyway. And I drank it and wanted another one. Oh, you had your limit. You had your 3. I said, what the hell are you talking about? I had my 3. I had 1, you know. So we went down to saw the Kamehameha, their statue in front of City Hall, or the Capitol building, whatever it was. And it was nice. Goof off, that's all, you know, get the hell away from camp there for a couple of hours.
Now,
Used to have a truck take you in and pick you up a certain hour.
Did you go through the division training school, or the division jungle training school while you were on Oahu?
I don't know what you mean.
There was a special school run by the 27th Division, jungle training school run by...
Oh, yes. Yeah, I got a picture. Did I bring that too? It was supposed to be Japanese writing on the building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went through that.
What was that school like?
It was all right. There was nothing. You crawl through mud and shot and whatnot, but I don't think you learned anything different.
How about any special amphibious training?
I told you what happened to that when we got on the reef, when we spilled over and lost all the rifles and helmets, and we didn't lose any guys.
Mm-hmm.
But the boats got all tore up. That was, you know, we were training for Magician Bay on Saipan, which I didn't know, you know,
Right.
but that's what they told us later. And we trained in where the blowhole is, where we lost a lieutenant.
Now, your first mission in combat was Macon,
Yes,
and you were attached to the 165th,
165th, yeah. But I don't remember that, see, I don't remember it.
and you were supposed to be an observer for them?
Yeah, observer, there was about half a dozen of us. But I don't remember how, like on Okinawa, to this day, I don't know how I got ashore. I remember Saipan, boy, for hours and hours, going round and round and round and round. Then we made the mad dash, you know. A couple of boats got direct hits from mortars, you know, boy.
Were you observing for artillery or mortars or?
No, just, you mean
On
on Macon? No, we just went in, we were one of the troops, that's all.
You remember anything of once you were on Macon?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I think it's on my discharge. They got you got all the islands there that I was on, but they don't call it Macon, and like Okinawa's Ryukus, and I don't know what Saipan was.
Saipan probably was Marshalls, Marianas.
Yeah, Marianas, and there's another one on my I don't know, probably Macon. But like I say, all I got was a bronze arrowhead on my discharge. I said, that's what I said, you know, when I got out. I said, this is all wrong. Well, stay a couple of weeks, we get it straightened out. Like baloney, you know.
I know on Saipan, you went ashore with the Marines.
Yes, yeah.
So your company was the first of the division to get on shore at Saipan.
Well, the whole division, because that's why we circled in the ocean for hours and hours till the whole division got loaded. Then we made the mad dash for the beach. Yeah, but the Marines were in there, you know, too. I don't know what side they were on, but
And Saipan must have physically, Saipan, the geography of Saipan, very different from Macon.
I don't know.
Once you hit the beachhead on Saipan, what was that like?
Well, I'm glad we all made it. You know, as far as I know, we all made it. And I saw, not one of our officers, they got a hold of a Jap, he just picked him up and blew him away. You know, like I say, lies meant nothing, you know. Took his 45 out and blew the back of his head right out.
A lot of shelling on the beach when you got there?
No, they did the shelling before. There were a lot of dead bodies there from our guys.
Yeah.
Not my outfit, all of them, you know what I mean. Marines and everything, yeah.
And so from the beachhead, you moved into the south end of the island towards Asalito Airfield?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so, but we were held up there for a while with that smokestack, and there was Japs ahead of us, you know, but after we cleared that, I think we went to Al Salito. But like I say, those guys with the CBs, whoever it was, boy, they started grading that out and whatnot, you know, and while the Army and the Marines cleared out the Japanese, yeah.
Moving down towards Asalito, did you run into any Japanese tanks? Or?
No, I didn't see it. Yes, I did. I saw two that were knocked out. They were tin cans compared to what we had. Yeah.
Were you working with any of our tanks at the time?
No.
And
No, it was just our division as far as I remember. We were probably right in the middle of when we mopping up and whatnot.
what were the Japanese defensive positions like? I mean, there were a lot of like spider holes down towards the southern end by Asalito. Problems rooting out the Japanese?
We got him out of there, but the only one I ever saw was the guy that was in a hole where he stood up. You know, they didn't have the foxholes like we did. They had holes where they hunkered down. And that's the only holes that I remember seeing on Saipan. Of course, they used everything else, you know, when they kept on being pushed back.
After the airfield was captured, did you go on towards Nafutan Point, or?
Yes, yeah.
What was that like?
I think that was when we lined up the regiments and everybody, you know, shoulder to shoulder. And you were just SOL if you hit a pocket of Japs, you know, but our outfit didn't really hit a whole bunch of them.
Did you hear it on the left or the right as you were going forward?
Oh, yeah, you could hear shooting, yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
And then after Nafferton, you were pulled out and sent towards the northern end of the island?
I don't remember just where we went, but I remember it rained like the devil there. That one night we were sitting in a foxhole, and like I say, we had jumpsuits, and we had the ponchos, and I'm sitting there half asleep, which is kind of stupid because my head, everybody's, you know, in the foxhole was full of water. We had a regular deluge there, and of course it was warm, you know, but, and geez, I felt something crawling around in my jumpsuit, you know. I said, holy God, so I ripped it open. There's a centipede about 18 inches long. And he got me on this side of the back, and he got me twice. I got two big lumps now. I'm a hunchback from that. And when I got my old army knife out there, I sliced them in two, you know. But it burned like hell. The first bite, I got the most of whatever he had. Mm-hmm. And the second one's just minor. But somebody says to me when I went to the VA, he says, you got two lumps on your back. I says, I do? He says, yeah. And that's the only thing I could figure out what it's from. That
But
venom in there. But
you weren't evac after you were bit by the centipede?
No. That just came with the, you know, normal. No, there was no evacuation. If you were sick or anything, you stayed in your foxhole. You did. I spent, I bet you, a week in my foxhole with the dengue fever and everything.
Why the jumpsuits? Why not the regular fatigues?
Because we had the armored cars,
Do you find
which we didn't have on Saipan. We left them on Hawaii.
find the jumpsuits a little more difficult to live in the jungle? Or?
Now, on that picture there, it shows a few of us in jumpsuits and the rest got the button fatigues on, you know, the other ones.
So what was it like at night in a foxhole?
Oh, you didn't get much sleep. Didn't get much sleep. If you were in the foxhole, you had your 45 out, and you had your knife sticking up on your belly, you know, sleeping like that. Oh yeah. On the Saipan there, they had them hermit crabs, and every once in a while, one would fall into your foxhole. You didn't know what the hell it was. It was a grenade or what, you know. You were alert. Yeah.
You get a lot of Japanese activity at night?
No, not too much. I told you about John Nagy there, where he was on guard, where he got 9 of them.
Now, I know you said you were up around Garapan, but before you moved up into Garapan, were you involved in the movement through Death Valley?
Yes.
What was that like?
Well, I know a lot of casualties, that's all I know. That was just before the bonsai charge, wasn't it?
Well, Death Valley, then Garapan, then the bonsai attack.
Yeah.
Death Valley was that area in the middle of the island, between the two heights. The 106 and the 105th were going up through.
Yeah, I think we were in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we were. And the irony of it was, they were stretched out, and as the island got wider there, you know, the area got wider, which meant you're almost by yourself. Your other men they're out of sight. You know what I mean? That was bad news.
Was there a problem with the Japanese positions there? They were in the cliffs?
No, I got pictures home of I don't know where of the Albany paper where we were blowing them out with phosphorus grenades. The guys went up there. I didn't myself, but our outfit did. I don't know where I was probably sick in bed or in my foxhole, but it shows them the phosphorus coming out. Holy, another one?
Did you run across any of the natives?
Yes.
What was
Yeah.
that like?
Scared to death. They stayed shy of us because the propaganda, you know, we were going to butcher them and everything. Yeah.
Did you recall hearing about the mass suicides of the
I saw it.
the civilians?
I saw it. I saw it.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I saw these, one woman, she threw her kid off, or a couple of them did. And even guys, I told you about the guy that committed suicide with a file, you know, horrible. And as we got nearer, you could hear them blow themselves up even. And they're blowing them, the civilians too. There was, you know, they were so afraid of us. They just did themselves in.
What must you have been thinking when you were watching like civilian women throw themselves off the cliff?
You know, to me it was such a waste, you know, such a waste because I could see it was unnecessary. You know, the propaganda is what, I don't know, you can't outlaw it because, you know what I mean.
In Garapan, this was the first city in Central
There wasn't
Pacific.
much left of it. There wasn't. So there wasn't too many houses to.
Did the Japanese fight from the houses, or?
Some of them did, yeah. But I didn't actually. I saw some, but the other guys got them. You know, I didn't fire. I don't think I fired a shot. Man, maybe I did in Caribbean. I don't think I really did, because it didn't take too long, if I remember right.
And it was north of Garapan where the 105th was hit by the Banzai charge.
Yeah, right. See, one of our platoons, one of the twins, I don't know which one it was, either Tom or what was his other name? He warned them, you know, G2 in the division that, or we did, you know, our unit, that something's going to happen. They're getting all their soldiers together in this one location for something. And Herzog said there was at least 6,000 of them that came down in that Banzai charge, all liquored up, and anything that they used for defense, you know, or they threw us in, they had rifles or clubs or sticks and sharpened bamboo or whatever, anything, you know. But they got mowed down by
Let's,
1,000.
cut it here for a moment. All right, tape 4, interview with Mr. Marquardt on 4 January 2001, Latham headquarters. Mark, we were talking about the Banzai attack that hit the 105th Infantry. Do you remember where you were at the time?
Yeah, we were taking wounded out and bringing ammunition to the front with our half tracks, because that's all we had then. And that was kind of bad too, because a lot of badly wounded that we put in the half tracks. We didn't have the jeeps with the stretchers then, just laid them on the floor of the half tracks and whatnot. But you always find one holdout somewhere along the route, you know, that take pot shot. That was constant, you know, somebody always shooting at you during this thing. This was not in the Banzai part, when we going back to the rear where we could patch them up, but and we lost one of the half tracks when it stalled out, and you know, the guys evacuated it and carried the wounded. I think they had 2. They carried them out of there and got them out of there, and this was before the final push of the Banzai, I think, and I went back up with another half track to get it started. Well, what happened, all they did was flood it, you know, and it kicked right up. But I investigated it first, you know, make sure it wasn't, but they didn't even touch it, didn't touch it.
You were concerned that it might have been booby trapped.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm surprised it didn't use it. There's an artillery unit that got overrun by the Banzai attack.
Tenth
And
Marines.
they turned it around and used it on their own troops, the Japanese.
Yeah,
Not a battalion, what did I say?
so a battery.
Battery, yeah.
When you were, so during the Banzai attack, you were moving up ammunition to the positions of the 105th?
Yes, yeah.
There were two different positions of the 105th at this time. There was one that was over by the beach, and then there was one that was up a long road.
Oh, yeah? It had to be along the road that where we went.
I remember reading about them trying to use half-tracks to bring up ammunition. And initially they had some problems. There was a lot of Japanese resistance.
Yeah, right.
Did you run into that?
I remember a couple pot shots at us, but the only serious one I ever had was on Saipan when we went to get the water, when I heard that tat-tat-tat from the machine gun on our side of the half-track. You know, that's the one that sticks in my mind more than the going back and forth from the bonsai.
But there was a lot of wounded coming out of the
Oh, yes,
road.
yes. We weren't alone because they had their own medics too.
Yeah.
Now, you say medic, well, I see a hero. I can't be more emphatic about that statement.
Those were guys out of the 102nd Medical Battalion?
Yeah, they had to be, yeah. Yeah, we lost everyone that we ever had. I mean, they got killed in our troop. Yeah. And both of them got silver stars.
So what did you hear about the Bonsai attack after it happened? I mean, what kind of information was filtering back to you? Who did you hear stopped it?
Well, all I heard about it, I don't think there was, I don't know, it just happened, that's all. You know, it's something that took place and had to be resolved. And it's just too bad that the whole 1st Battalion got demolished like that. But, you know, it's, like who said it? Sherman? War is hell? Sure is.
Did you have a lot of dealings with Marines while you were on the island?
Have what?
Dealings with Marines?
No, not really. No. All I heard was, we made it safe for you. We made it safe for you. You know.
And what did you think about that?
Well, it was shit for the birds.
And you were on the island when the Marine General Smith relieved General Ralph Smith.
Right. Yeah.
What were the guys in the units thinking about that?
Oh, they were really PO'd about it. You know, that's because Smith there, our general, he was cream of the crop. You know, really. I mean, terrific.
How so?
Well, he was a soldier's general, a soldier's officer. I mean, he didn't look for no guts and glory. You know what I mean? Which I think the other Smith did. Like, I don't know, who was in charge of Makin? Who was in charge of Makin? Do you know?
Alan Mad Smith.
Yeah.
The Marine Smith.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Now I don't think that island should have been even bothered. Just leave it there. You know, let them die on the vine.
So the guys felt that Ralph Smith shouldn't have been relieved?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Did it have any effect on morale of the troops?
Yes. Yeah. I felt bad about it. I felt very bad.
And
See, our general, I mean, he was more concerned, I think, about lives, you know, instead of just throwing them in and throwing them in and throwing them in and get knocked, demolished, you know. And he was, you know, he took it a little bit slower. They claimed we weren't fast enough.
And then General Greiner came in to
Greiner
came in to replace General Smith.
Yeah, right.
What was he like?
Well, I think we felt resentful for one thing, which we shouldn't have been. But you know, here's a guy getting well taken over, like when our General Smith should have got the credit for whatever happened. You know, I mean, we were successful in taking the island, and when Greiner came in, I mean, he, after the battle there, like I told you about always had to wear a helmet liner, and you had to sit in the Jeep straight. You couldn't have your knee out of the vehicle. I mean, the petty stuff, you know. He'd stop in. I mean, that's all he had to do, as far as I know. You know, ride around to see who wasn't sitting up straight in the Jeep.
Did he do anything to repair the morale of the division?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of, no.
And-
After, I think he went out of everybody's memory, you know what I mean? I never gave him a second thought. I just, any recollections, I think of General Smith, my General Smith, not
Right.
H.M. Smith.
And what about, we're not going to be able to get you to tell us that little song, are we? About General...
General Griner, helmet liner, and his buddy Ovenshine.
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard, oh, you bastard, oh, you bastard, Ovenshine. You know, blanking, well, we're bucking just to please you, Ovenshine. No, in a camp and in a cabin. And once a friend of mine, helmet liner, Georgia Griner, and his buddy Ovenshine, and the rest.
And there was a popular little ditty with this...
Oh, yeah, we got somebody wrote it, though. What is it? What's the name of that song? In a camp and in a cabin. Clementine. Oh, my darling Clementine, yeah. And the edict came out that don't sing that song. Well, that's all you had to do, you know, and then you could hear it all over. See both sides of the island, you know.
This was the Espiritu Santo?
Yeah, Espiritu Santo, yeah.
And Ovenshine was the division exec?
Yes, yeah.
While you were on Espiritu Santo, several months after Saipan, the article came out in Time magazine.
I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
We didn't know about it.
Didn't know about it?
No. No. I heard it after I got out even. It was years after that.
And what did you think when you finally heard about it?
I thought it was terrible, terrible. I mean, fair is fair, you know, but geez, don't call us what we weren't, you know.
Did you ever feel like being in the Central Pacific and being in the Army, that you were kind of like overlooked or neglected? I mean, people back home were hearing about Normandy and they were...
Oh, yeah. Like D-Day was right around the invasion of Saipan. Everything was D-Day, D-Day, D-Day. There was nothing about Saipan, I heard, you know. So it was, you know, that was, we were always on the bottom of the page, you know what I mean, in the newspaper.
If it wasn't Europe, it would have been MacArthur in the Southwest Pacific.
Oh, yeah, old Mac, stick with Mac and you'll never get back. We were 10th Army he had, and we were under him, and that was our slogan for him. Stick with Mac and you'll never get back. Didn't hear that?
No.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was on Okinawa?
Yeah.
And what was the attitude towards MacArthur?
Nobody liked them.
Why?
I don't know.
Any other names or terms that they called them? Or?
No, no. Just that stick with Mac and you'll never get back.
So on Okinawa, you don't remember how you got on the island?
No, I don't. If they brought us right up to the beach or if we had to wade in. I remember on Saipan, one of our half tracks got drowned out. No, it didn't get drowned out. Yeah, it got drowned out. We had to waterproof them, you know, with the breather on the top. And it got stalled. And the transmission got full of salt water. They tried to make our CO pay for that lousy transmission. On site, I'm not kidding you. I had to go to before some board with Captain Carter. He was Harry Shore Carter.
Mm-hmm.
He was our CO then, and he got clobbered pretty good too. He got hit, but we had to. Yeah, they were going to charge I think $465 for lousy transmission of the half track because it got full of salt water during the landing, which it's just something not right there somewhere, like that, the petty stuff, there. Yeah.
On Okinawa, do you remember anything about the battles around the Shuri Castle and the Shuri Line?
No, I remember Garapan.
Garapan was on Saipan, right?
I mean Naha, excuse me, Naha.
What was
Yeah.
Naha like?
That was almost like Saipan. It was pretty well demolished, you know. And actually, I didn't do too much fighting on there. It was pretty well, you know, taken care of by, well, yeah, we were only one troop, you know what I mean? When you had a whole 2 regiments there, or 3 regiments fighting with you.
A lot of indirect fire on Okinawa,
What do you mean indirect?
artillery mortars, Japanese artillery mortars.
No, not there, no, no. Because from what I don't, like I say, I don't even remember landing on the beach, which I know I had to, you know, but on Saipan, there was a heavy shelling before while they were, you know, loading the division onto the Higgins boats, you know, and like circling around for hours. That was the worst part. I think just the waiting and running around and around in circles and circles and circles before everybody got loaded and made the mad dash for the beaches. Yeah. Stumbling over body wasn't no great shakes neither.
On the beachheads?
Yeah, on the beaches. Yeah.
Once you were ashore, though, on Okinawa, and you were operating inland, fairly large island, did you take a lot of Japanese mortar and artillery fire?
Yes, like I said, when there was Britt, Prestwood, and myself, and oh, no, I don't know who else it was. We had those Japanese glasses that I told you about that we got on Saipan. They were boy, they had a tripod about this big, and they were about this long. I say with 6-inch lenses in the front, and we heard this mortar come in. We heard it, so like I told you, Cal ducked under the half track or the M8 armored car, and we were the rest of us were standing there. He gets killed. We didn't even get a scratch on this. And we got a couple more mortars. And sometimes I think it was our own. I really do. You never know. And like when we were on the knoll there with all the vehicles parked there, we got mortar shelled again, and one landed right in, well, near me there when it bounced my pistol, and the next one went in right into the half track and blew it apart. In fact, Dick Hamilton, he was one of my men. He had a dog. I had a dog too. My name was Whack, W-A-A-C, Whippins, you know, she was a female. But Hamilton's dog, I won't say what he called the dog, but he was in the half track and blew him out. And he was, well, he jumped out and he got strangled, you know, so. But on that half track, of course he probably dead, probably blew him out of there, the dog. But when we went in the caves and when the shelling, that's when I moved all the vehicles out, you know, scattered them, because they're going right over that knoll where we were parked. The lieutenant said, park them here, they'll be safe, you know, but all they did was come right over it with the mortars, right? And it wasn't like shooting straight at them, you know, that's what mortars are for. You skip them and skip the hills. And I moved all the vehicles and went in the cave, and they kept it up and kept it up.
Your Greyhounds and half-tracks, any unusual modifications or changes you all made to them?
That we made? No.
Or that were made for you?
I like them. I thought they're fantastic. Yeah. They go 55 miles an hour. That was pretty good.
The half-track?
No, you said the M8s.
The Greyhound, yeah, the Greyhound.
The Greyhound, yeah. Yeah.
Basically, did you keep your equipment inside the Greyhound or on the outside of the Greyhound? Your personal gear?
We had not musette bags in our outfit. And they were strung around the turret. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do anything else to modify the vehicles, change the bumpers, or
no,
add
nothing.
Add any things to them?
Not a thing. No.
We
had one there. What a lemon that was. Everything was hydraulic, including the clutch and the gas. And the gas, I don't know where we were going. So we had no gas pedal. We had a leak in the line somewhere. So what we did, we jury rigged from the engines, from the carburetor, jury a piece of string to get it to its destination. Now it doesn't, you know. Then ordnance, we sent it back to ordnance after things calmed down. They couldn't find it. So then, of course, the war ended, and I don't think it went to Japan with that string on it. Mm-hmm. It did?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Any special markings or colors, or were they camouflaged or green, or?
No, they were OD, and like on my motorcycle, we had an artist in our outfit, and there were no stars on our motorcycles, and I didn't have them put on. I said, paint something on there for me, Jimmy. You know, it wasn't Jimmy. I don't know who it was, but he put a skull and crossbones on my motorcycle, which never went into combat, and maybe it went to Japan. But on my half track, they had a tiger with wings on it that he painted. I don't know. This guy was sharp. You got a picture of that with Jackson. Mm-hmm. Stonewall. We call him Stone.
That was on the half track or on the Greyhound? On
the Greyhound. The half tracks we didn't put nothing on.
So it was like a flying tiger and.
Yeah, a tiger with wings. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On like a cloud background or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
What about any other markings or badges used by other members of the troop that they put on their vehicles? Any that you might remember?
No.
Did you have the stars on the Greyhounds, or did you take them off?
Let me see. I don't know if there were stars. I really don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe there weren't. I don't know. Yes, there were. Because one of my drivers got strafed by a plane. He missed them. And that pilot came to our outfit and apologized. Yeah? And he found out it was one of our, M8 armored cars. Yeah?
When somebody asked him, why didn't you see the star?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
What about the half tracks? How were they?
They were fantastic. I told you about the oil can in the driver's side. We had a 2.5 gallon tank. It was like a half a ball, not round, just like this. We put about 2 gallons of oil in there. It was anchored to the floor. It had a valve on there, which went to the exhaust manifold on the half. They had white engines in them, which ran really hot. And when you wanted smoke, when you were driving, it came in handy once for one of our guys in the half track. I don't know, it wasn't me. And the Japs threw a hand grenade and knocked the track off. And about 5 of them came running after him. They thought he was, stopped there. They were going to demolish him. All you had to do was put it front wheel drive, turned on that thing, big cloud of smoke went about 100 yards or so, stopped. When they came through that smoke out in the open, the guys were waiting there with the 30 and the 50, just wipe them out, the Japs. They were good smoke makers, I'm telling you.
Now you had 50 caliber ring mounts on your half tracks?
Yes. Yeah. Over the passenger side. Yeah.
Were there 30 calibers mounted also?
I think they're all 50s. See, I got mixed up on the M8s. I thought the M8s had 50s too, but the pictures show they didn't. Yeah. Kind of, you get to be 80. Something's missing.
Anything else you'd like to add, Mark? Anything else comes to mind about your experiences with the 27th Recon?
No, I miss the guys. I mean, there's a lot of camaraderie in our outfit. Everybody's real close knit until we got all new members when we were supposed to go home and they went to Japan. Like I gave my 5 stripes to a corporal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was motor sergeant, and he probably M8 armored car commander too, and squad leader or platoon leader. I was all 3.
A lot of you guys had been together since McClellan, right?
Oh, yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Pretty
Like I
tight.
say, we've had reunions every single year since '46 probably about 3 years ago. We had a reunion every single year. Yeah,
And when the replacements started to come in, they came in from all over.
all over. Yeah,
Yeah.
California. Even we even had a Hawaiian. Silva, his name was. We got a guy from Hawaii.
Did they get an appreciation for the quality of the unit, or did it kind of just like not matter so much to them? When you guys had all been together, you must have.
No, hey, we needed the bodies there, you know, to fill in. No, everybody. There was no good or bad feelings about anybody. You know, we were all in one boat.
Mhm.
So, yeah, here to do what we got to do.
So, in retrospect, looking back, I think you made a right decision joining the 27th Division in 1939?
Did I make the right decision?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I did. Oh yes, absolutely.
Better to have gone to war with them than another unit?
Yeah. Of course, I got nothing to compare it with, but you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
The replacements that came in, they were immediately made welcome.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh, they probably had better training than we did as a guard. You know what I mean? Before they joined us, I would assume they did, because they had 4 years to, you know, train these guys. Or we only had a couple of months, or less than that. There's no, well, like I say, when we graduated from HMI, Herzog's Military Institute, we were really, you know, we went through one of the roughest, training there. That, you know, everything. We did the whole jumping into water, climbing on walking on a rope ladder with another rope to hang on to, swinging and everything.
Well, you mentioned Captain Herzog a few times.
Yeah,
You know what he did in civilian life, or where he came from?
yeah. I knew him. No, I knew him after.
Mm-hmm.
See, he was a lieutenant down to McClellan,
Mm-hmm.
and he became our CO after H.P. Jones. I don't know what happened to him. He was a guy that had the first sergeant write me up for standing in the mud puddle during inspection for muddy shoes. When that's the only place I had to stand.
Mm-hmm.
But he left, and Herzog, but he started the training. You know, we had to run, and we do 20-mile hikes with him. You know, with packs. Oh yeah.
And he was
And he was there. He had a pack too. He didn't walk around in his ballet shoes. You know what I mean? Like a certain officer I just talked about.
And he was Herzog was a guard officer, came
Yes.
mobilized with the unit.
Yeah, he came right from Albany. Yeah, he made a brigadier. You know, here. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Brigadier with the National Guard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions?
In fact, on Okinawa, like I say, boy, he was right in the thick of it. He was in a plane. He went to G2 in division,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw this Piper Cub with about 4 foot of the wing shot off go down and crash. I said, I bet you $1 to donuts that's Herzog in there, and it was. Yeah.
Quite a career.
He was. Oh, he was. Boy, that man was. Oh, he didn't stop for nothing. You know, they're fantastic.
So what did he do in civilian life?
He was a lawyer.
I thought that was.
Herzog and Hopkins and on 11 North Pearl Street in Albany here. In fact, he drew up my will. Oh, him and I, every time you see, hey, Mark and I, we won the war together, he always says whatever we, yeah.
Towards the end of things, how was the Guard Division looked upon well by the regular Army, or wasn't?
I don't know anything about the regular Army. I mean, you know, Well, I don't know how to answer that, because we were a regular Army for a year, you know, before, well, almost a year and a half, I guess, before the war broke out. Yep.
Did you ever see any problems among the sergeants or the officers that seemed to be carried over from what they had done in civilian life in the Guard before the war? You know,
No,
like
I don't think so.
maybe a guy who used to work for another guy, but now the first guy is an officer, and the guy he used to work for in civilian life is now a sergeant. Were there ever problems or
No,
conflicts like that?
no, I didn't see any of that, no. No,
Anything else you want to add, Mark?
I don't think so. Got
Great.
any more questions?
No, I think we're good to go, thanks.
Okay.